The Democratic Party. The heroes who are going to lead us against the second Trump era starting tomorrow. According to a poll, almost half of all voters don't even know who their leader is. A combination of 30 and 19%, when asked who is the leader of the Democratic Party, said, I don't know, or nobody. The first name, or I guess the person who more than anyone else is considered the leader, is Kamala Harris at 10%, even though she's going to be out of office right after tomorrow, and then presumably for at least a full year before even being able to run for governor of California if she decides to do that. 1 point behind her was House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. And then 1 point behind him is former President Obama. And then at 3%, so, there's like a bigger margin, you have Newsom, Pelosi, and Schumer, right, picked by little tiny segments of the population as the Democratic Party leader. And at 2%, you have President Biden and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, what's really sad about just this whole sampling, right, is that the top three people are Harris, Jeffries, and Obama, right? One at 10%, one at 9%, one at 8%. Harris is going to be out of office after tomorrow. Maybe she will, as a former vice president, on occasion criticize Trump, but she, as a non-elected, as a non-office holding official, her influence can only go so far. Jeffries, in spite of being the Democratic House leader, is at every turn outclassed by Pelosi. So he's basically just a younger minority figurehead for the same lady that's been leading the party since, 2003, 2005? Since I was in preschool or before that. To still, maintain control. He's, just a little puppet in front that she gets to prop out and have at the conferences now. And Obama makes no sense. Like, I did a whole video on why he is possibly the worst ex-president in all of American history, or at least on the way to being that. One of the reasons I said that is because in this 7-year retirement of his, besides putting out the occasional statement every 7 or 8 months about Trump, he really doesn't do anything, other than come out for these failed presidential campaigns and different races and whatnot. He's largely in his bunker at, Martha's Vineyard, insulated from the consequences of anything that Trump does. So I don't see how anyone could say he is a leader of the 2020s Democratic Party when he hasn't done anything in a position of leadership consistently since leaving office. So that's somebody else that makes no sense. Pelosi makes sense, right? I said before, she's very powerful. She still is powerful even after not being the leader in, name anymore. But the rest of this, and think how sad it is that Biden is the incumbent president. He's going to be the most recent Democratic president for the next 4 years, and only 2% of all respondents say, "Oh yeah, that's the leader." The president of the United States can't even get and that just shows you his image is really it was destroyed, right? He's a figurehead. He is a puppet for his party. That's why there's 5 or 6 people that they put above him as the actual leader of the party. Hell, you might see Joe Biden get 3% instead of her husband. But this is a really sad state of affairs, because if these guys are going to be able to take back the White House from Trump in 4 years, or the House and Senate in 2 years, or any point after that, they have to be able to get at least a person, maybe a few people, who can consistently criticize and challenge the policies of the majority party. And so far, that has not been successfully implemented by people like Jeffries. That has not been sought after to be done by people who are popular, like Obama. And it's really just, it's a party that can't stop imploding on itself. Um, but if you ask me who's the leader of the Democratic Party, I couldn't answer it either. I probably would say I don't know as well. Sometimes it feels like it's Pelosi. Um, office wise, you would say Schumer and Jeffries because they're going to be, the House and Senate Democratic leaders for the foreseeable future. But I really would not say that makes them, the people who are actually in charge of stuff and going to articulate any kind of message. It is a bunch of individuals who are not equipped to deal with the incoming issues that we're about to be facing. And I feel really bad for the voters because, like, whether you like Trump or not, he is the leader of the Republican Party. He's been their leader since, I'd say, the summer of 2016 when he became the Republican nominee. He has had a stranglehold over them for the last 9 years, and it's going to continue right throughout. I predict even after his presidency is over, he'll probably still have some high level of influence. But it's like, at least with them, they have a person who you can say, this is the figurehead that unites all of us together. Obama could be that, but he doesn't do anything. Jeffries is overshadowed by Pelosi. Pelosi, wants to be behind the scenes, and I really, am not clamoring for her to be more visible. Schumer is a joke. I mean, there's no one that they have in their arsenal to even whip out against the Republicans. Anyone that's willing, anyway, and that's what's sad about it. Um, that this is who is in charge of defending the democratic values of democracy and stopping Trump from going after his political opponents. Like, give me a break. It is a sad selection of possible candidates if those are the ones we're supposed to believe are going to save the day. If you're hoping for the Democrats to rescue you, you better hey, don't hold your breath.